Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teague, and with me, like always, is Noah Bailey. So, this is our first official full episode of the year, which means there is over a month of stuff we need to catch up on. So let's just jump right into what I believe is, I think, the most interesting thing to start off today. Um, you know how with this new DC universe happening, one of the first movies that was announced was a Batman Brave and the Bold movie,
Yes.
and it's kind of been a little quiet, especially since we're still not exactly sure. We're sure, but we're still not exactly sure how the Batman Part Two will influence that. James Gunn is still very adamant about the fact that those will be two separate things. I still think that might be a mistake, but whatever. But since the Batman Part Two has its script, it's getting more casting, which we'll get to in just a minute. But um, he's now has released some more information about Batman Brave and the Bold, and the first big piece of news is that it officially has a writer in uh, Christina Hodson. Now, it's one of those things where, as soon as the name was released, people only attached her name with the worst projects she's worked on, ignoring all the good things. And she was the main, the lead writer on the Flash movie. And that was the big headline. Flash writer tapped to write the Batman movie. So just based on that alone, I feel like personally, if we're just going off that headline, I don't think that's fair. Because as you remember, and as I remember, and as everyone should remember, that movie went through like 12 different rewrites.
Yes. To the point where we didn't think it was kind of how GTA 6 is starting to feel. Like we didn't even think it was gonna happen. It was like
Correct.
Because it got canceled a couple, didn't it get not canceled, but it went through multiple directors, rewrites, reshoots. It was in purgatory for years.
Yeah. It's one of those projects. This happens every now and then. It actually kind of happened with Rise of Skywalker. It happens every now and then where a movie is in production hell. It doesn't have a specific director attached to it. It's like this big movie came out that everyone like, oh, that director should make this, and that director dropped out. Okay, another big movie got big. Like, oh, that director should direct this. No, okay. It Part Two came out. Oh, that director should direct this, and then that one stuck. So Andrew Muschietti, whatever you pronounce his last name, he eventually was the one that came on 2020 21, somewhere around there. And that one, no, it was a little earlier than that, because I think the first teaser trailer was at DC Fandom 2021. So he must have officially attached just after It Part 2 came out in 2019. But it went through at least 3 or 4 different directors, multiple different writers. This movie also has a different 3 other groups of people that have writing credits. Some of those including the 2 guys who co-wrote the Dungeons and Dragons movie, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Along with Game Night and a couple of the things that I just really, really like from them.
I do like Game Night, yeah.
Yeah. So if you were to if the next movie by those guys is announced as Game Night / Dungeons and Dragons writers is attached to this, I'd be like, okay, cool. But if it was the Flash writer attached to this, be like, oh, that's bad. But you see how the framing can be.
Yeah, it's so easy to there. Granted, you can make the argument, well, the Flash was more recent, so we're basing it off that. Which again, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying I know that's how people think a lot of the time, because it's it's like that in a lot of areas. But it's also when presented with something that's not in production hell and has a straightforward process,
Mhm.
they're shown to write really good stuff.
Yes. And I would argue that even Christina Hodson also has a similar track record. Yes, she did write at least some of The Flash. There's no way of telling which exact lines are written by her or which, what the director did or what other writer, like whatever. But she was also the head writer of two movies that I really like, that being Birds of Prey and Bumblebee.
Bumblebee, yeah, that was a good one.
Yes. I know a lot of people are iffy on Bird to Prey. I think the hate for that movie is overblown. I don't I really like it personally. Um I know all the stuff with Black Mask was a little not what I would have done, but I still think the overall movie I think that character worked well enough for that movie.
Mm.
And I'm not gonna think that like if she were writing, you know, a if she were writing like the Joker or Penguin or Bane or whoever was the main villain of Brave and the Bold, I don't think she would write them like Ewan McGregor's Black Mask. Uh, so yes, like she clearly already has experience writing Batman characters. She arguably already has experience writing for Batman himself with two different
Right.
Batman in the Flash, and people pretty like the well, you can say a lot of things about the Flash movie, but pretty much everyone agrees that the Batman parts in that movie are probably the best parts.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And then her being the lead writer on Bumblebee is also very good. Like if this were Bumblebee writer, Christina Hodson to have to write it, I think people would generally
Like it better.
yeah, like
Right, because it is literally just like, oh, what have you done? What have you done for me lately kind of world. And it's like,
mm-hmm,
well, I remember this. It's like, well, she did other good stuff too. And I feel like, you know, granted, the Flash, no matter, I feel like was going to be a dumpster fire one way or another. Because I mean, it got to the point, even the lead actor in the movie was having, you know, in person, in real life issues that were going against the movie. So it's kind of like, okay, guys, like this movie wasn't exactly the best health in general. So we can give it a little bit of a pass, in my opinion.
exactly. So I'm not willing to judge, you know, I'm not willing to judge anything about this movie until we actually see it, because it is kind of interesting that right now the the you know the main director and writing staff seems to be very similar to the Flash movie. But if since Andrew Muschietti also directed the Flash movie, he's also directing this Batman movie supposedly.
Mhm.
Um, but everyone that I've heard who has seen the Welcome to Derry it prequel show on HBO Max, they really like that show. So clearly he still can do good stuff. Like so I think if him and Christina Hobson can like, start from the ground up working on something that is wholly theirs, it'll probably turn out better than the Flash. Not that that's the highest bar to cross.
No, I mean that bar is what negative almost, but I mean
Yeah.
I think yeah, and I think this is also just part of society doing their whole like I hate everything that's not exactly what I want it to be deal. But
Yeah.
I think people are just worried about you know Batman. What are they gonna do? They can't ruin Batman, which like I agree with, but I'm also like okay, like it's just a writer announcement. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
we're still, this is still James Gunn's DCU. We can still, I think he's earned enough that we shouldn't, completely lose our minds just on a writer who has done other good things.
Exactly. Plus, worst case scenario, if this movie does fall flat, we have the Batman Part Two coming out in 2027. So before this, and
We do.
hopefully they'll get a third one coming out shortly after, not another 5 years ideally. So we'll have other Batman stuff to to kind of latch onto. And
Yeah.
also, even if Batman Brave and the Bold isn't like the best movie, that doesn't necessarily mean that that Batman is going to be bad or like those characters are ruined, because it could be argued that Iron Man really only has one out of three movies that are any good. I like Iron Man 3, but just generally speaking, people only really like the first one, and he's the best character in the MCU.
Right.
Iron Man 2 didn't tarnish his reputation. Then when Avengers came out, people still liked him.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, he's more remembered for his moments in other movies, not just in the Iron Man movie. So, and I feel like Batman obviously has a presence that he'll be in a lot of other DC stuff in general, not just the Batman movies. So, yeah, I think as long as they nail Batman, it'll be fine.
I also think if there is a director who would be willing to go with the more like mystical and fantastical aspects of Batman,
Yeah.
I think the guy that directed the It movies is probably the guy.
I'm just saying, it sounds like it'll work to me.
Yeah. So we'll see. Um, Currently, that's probably not coming out to 2028, but we have at least one other Batman movie before then. We have Man of Tomorrow next year as well. Uh, Clayface may or may not be involved with one or both of those. Who knows at this point? Um, so, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But speaking of Batman movies, um, there is a heavy rumor, and it's one of those things that's basically confirmed, but it hasn't like actually been confirmed yet, that Sebastian Stan might be playing Harvey Dent
I've
in
heard
Batman
this.
Part Two.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool. Why not?
I can see it. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of two minds, ironically. So one, I really like him as an actor. I think, I like him in everything thing I've seen him in. It is going to be a little bittersweet knowing that him being in this movie almost guarantees that he's not making it out of Avengers Doomsday.
I mean, yeah, when you think about it that way. I didn't think that far out, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm also like, I mean, he could theoretically do both.
Yes.
I mean,
It's
I'm not sure how
possible.
contracts will work. 'Cause I mean, he's been Bucky for a long time.
Yeah.
So,
He has
and
been.
there has been a specific lack of using characters like concurrently as far as like in the MCU lately. Because I mean, we'll see people play a character 3 years ago, and then they won't touch it for until
Yeah.
this movie comes out.
But
But
I
yeah, there's a good chance.
it also kind of depends on how much Harvey Dent will be in the movie. It could be a thing where like, he's just the new district attorney.
Yeah.
He's not. I don't think he'll be. Here's my dream: is I don't think he'll be Two-Face yet. Maybe at the very end he'll become Two-Face, but I don't want him
Probably.
to. Don't do a Dark Knight. We don't need that again.
I feel like they won't make him start doing Two-Face stuff. I think he'll get like it'll first start as the movie ends. Because as we've seen from the Batman Part One, they're not, even with the Joker stuff in the Batman Part One, it's just like, like you didn't need to do all that, but they were
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure, why not? Just throw it in the end. So I feel like
Mm.
there's a good chance he could like, you know, start pulling his bandages off or something, or like start really flipping his coin, or I don't know, something to like put it on the nose, like, yeah, Two Faces the next villain.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people kind of question like, oh, we already took down both Maroni and um, Falcone, so like, who is gonna splash his face with acid? Like, as if it wasn't the Joker and the Dark Knight who did it, and that turned out well. So like, it doesn't have to be the exact same story from the original. It could be any number of things. It could be
Yeah.
Firefly who like blasts him in the face, and that takes his.
It's probably gonna be Oz or someone that works for Oz.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest,
probably, yeah.
probably. I mean, that's what I would think. Like, I mean, it just has to be some horrible accident. It doesn't have to be in court. It can be, like we saw in The Dark Knight. It didn't take anything away from that it happened in that, like, warehouse or whatever it was where they got kidnapped. Like, it doesn't really matter that much as long as it happens.
Yeah, so I hope that he's only really in this movie to kind of like, build up the fact that him and Bruce Wayne have been, have been friends or to form that friendship throughout the movie. That way, when he becomes the main villain or a villain of the third one, then it's like a bigger deal. I also hope they don't. You can use the Joker as you set him up in the last movie, but don't make him the main villain.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, like there's rumors of it being even more so a long Halloween-esque thing when I feel like we kind of already did that to an extent with Batman Part 1 when it was literally set on Halloween for a lot of it. I don't know if you need to do like
Every Halloween, Batman comes out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is coming out next October. That could work. Well, yeah, I don't.
I mean,
Yeah, it's also not even confirmed necessarily that Sebastian Stan is going to be in the movie, but I do think it is guaranteed, like it is a fact that Harvey Dent will be a major player in it. Or at least
yes.
a presence, which makes sense
Which I
considering
think
the
is
last District
good.
Attorney
Yeah.
got blown up, so so much to replace him.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Moving over to more DC stuff, we got our first real look at Lobo in Supergirl. Have you seen this little trailer, this screenshot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's Lobo.
It
That's Jason Momoa playing Lobo like we always thought he should have been in the first place.
Yeah, it looks exactly like how you think it would.
Yeah. I've seen some people try to criticize the look of him and be like, "Oh, it just looks like a guy in makeup." Like, but
Oh, it looks exactly like him.
he's
I mean,
tall, he's
kind of
big, he has white skin, like he has the hair, like
white
that's
skin, really wild black hair, deep voice, like, or at least
yeah, his
like
eyes aren't red, but you know what? I don't need every single thing to look exactly
that's
like
the
him.
most minute detail, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
doesn't matter.
if you can't tell that's Lobo, you just don't know what Lobo looks like. Even if you didn't know he was in that movie, you would have been like, "Oh, Lobo's in it." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he looks as accurate as I've ever seen.
And I've seen a lot of people try to be like, oh, this is like they're so obviously just gonna kill him off in the first movie. Like, first of all,
You can't.
yeah, exactly. First of all, Jason Momoa has been wanting to play Lobo since he was born. Second, second, you can't kill Lobo. It's kind of his thing.
It's kind of his thing.
You cut off his finger, that finger will grow into another Lobo. So I also I think James Gunn knows that Jason Momoa has wanted to play this character forever.
Mm-hmm.
Lobo is the kind of character that can and probably should show up in other shows and movies and stuff. Like he could easily show up in the Green Lantern show. He could show up in another season of Peacemaker, and in Man of Tomorrow, he could be involved in that as well. Like, I really, people are just cynical about, like you said earlier, they're like it's not quote unquote perfect, or it's not their guy doing it, therefore it is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of
Yes.
the vibe I got the entire time people were complaining about it. Like something just looks off about it, or it looks bad, and they don't elaborate what looks bad about it because they don't actually have any
Right? Like, it's like it just looks wrong. What about it specifically? Tell me.
It just looks like a guy in makeup. Well, it is a guy in makeup. Well,
It is a
expect it to
right,
look
right. Like that's the thing. It looks like a guy in makeup. It was like, well, yeah, that's the point.
like, oh,
Like,
the Krypton show on Sci-Fi that did it better. And they show a picture of that guy. It's like that. also looks like a guy in makeup. I don't know what you.
It's also like both are a guy in makeup because it's not real.
Yeah. But if he was all CG, you would be complaining about that too. So
Literally, literally, like it's so wild because, like, bro, why are you mad? Like,
right.
I don't understand. Like, it looks really good. Jason Momoa has played in superhero movies. Now, granted, you might not have liked Aquaman, but I don't think Jason Momoa was the reason you didn't like Aquaman. I think Aquaman was just poorly written.
Yeah.
But, and I think also it's like, I think when you have an actor who looks the part, is passionate about playing the part, they set him up well. I think it's going to be a slam dunk. I think it'll be just fine. It's one of those things that people who didn't even like, what I mean? People like this was years before. They're like, he should be playing Lobo. And now James Gunn's like, you know what? You're right. Let's do it. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like everyone can kind of see this is a good idea. And then the people making decisions are like, yeah, that is kind of a good idea.
Mm-hmm. It is
And I'm like,
it is not a Dwayne Johnson situation where like he campaigned for years to play Black Adam, and they literally like changed how he looks in the comics to look more like Dwayne Johnson. You don't gotta like retrofit the character to fit him. Jason Momoa already looks.
He already just fits.
Is Lobo. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that's so interesting. Everyone's just like they will find that they will find something to not like about them. They just will.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, bro, I think we're good. Like,
yeah.
Like
the jury is still out about exactly how good the Supergirl movie's gonna be. Like I still have high enough hopes for it. I'm not clamoring to put it on our fantasy box office list, but you know what? I think it'll at least be an enjoyable time. So yeah.
I think it's gonna be good. I think Lobo's gonna steal the show. I'm not gonna lie.
And that happens quite often with
like that's not bad. That's great. I think that is ideal, honestly.
Every single person who has that criticism of like, oh, this Lobo is going to basically be the main character. He's going to steal the show. I know that The Dark Knight is an amazing movie, but the reason why people latched on to that movie so hard is because Heath Ledger's Joker is so good in that movie.
Correct.
Correct. It's okay for the villain to kind of take the spotlight.
Yeah, especially when they're doing so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I would prefer that over a movie like Ant-Man 2, where the villain of actually Ant-Man the one also, the villain is just so weird and dumb. Like I'd much rather have a villain just steal the show and be awesome than a villain that is either bad or forgettable. And I don't really know which is
worse. Bad is definitely worse than forgettable, in my opinion. I'd rather not remember than be like, I don't want to watch this because I don't want to deal with this villain again. Or constantly be annoyed because the villain didn't just obviously take the winning solution and just like fumbled somehow because plot.
Right. So, like it's still coming out in late June. I think the week before or week after Toy Story 5. Yeah, Toy Story 5. So hopefully the week it comes out, it'll be, hopefully it'll come out in a week that is, good enough that it can thrive. And next up, Invincible season 4 got its first trailer.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff is gonna happen this season.
Yeah, it is going down. I'm very ready.
Yeah, we got our first look at Thrag. He sounds awesome. Battle Beast being more involved. Omni-Man coming back and having a talk with Debbie about what happened.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait for that because that is gonna be intense. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, you already had your like, we had that scene with Mark back in season 2 where he was really just like, bro, what the heck?
Mhm.
But with Debbie, after everything that's happened, after everything she heard, like, oh man, that's gonna be emotional. They do, and Sandra Oh does a really good job as Debbie. Like her line reads are just like you could feel all this emotion. Like it's gonna be like that. That is gonna be huge. That's
Mhm.
not even like action. I'm just excited for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But animation looks really good again, which I know we're saying like it feels like we keep getting upgrades with animation. It's really Thrag getting off his throne gives a lot of like Thanos energy of like, I'll do it myself kind of, vibes, which is really, oh man, it's intense. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be good, man. I mean, everyone, you worry a little bit because you're like, oh God, who's gonna die?
Right.
But
It's kind of funny that even though the Immortal is like probably the most powerful being on the planet outside of Omni-Man, him and Duplicate both leaving the team and then bringing in Tech Jacket and someone, I remember who else, someone else onto the Guardians. Like now it actually feels like a legit squad.
yeah, you're like, okay, let's like now I can see this going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good, man. Like the Guardians get a full upgrade and everything. Like you're just, woo, it's gonna be intense though. You worry a lot because like I I don't know, man. Like because Eve is still. I mean, she got messed up by Conquest, and you're like, is she gonna be okay? Like, is Mark like? I mean, Mark looks like he's got like, I guess robot looking like like on his limbs. He looks like he's still kind of healing. Like, I don't know if we're ready for this, man. This is. Oh. Also, how's the world gonna react to Omni-Man just coming back? Like, are we just like,
probably not
bro?
well.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like it's hard because like we really need him, but also.
But especially
I
after
don't know,
Conquest destroyed the city again, like I don't see.
Yeah, there's gonna be so much going on, but we got this whole, we can have, we're starting with, Viltrum. We got like some help, and Alan's still Alan, which is awesome. I'm so excited. And
Peter
also
Cullen, other like Trader Viltrumite actually being a part of the team now is
right.
Which
like we actually have maybe a fighting chance.
Which you know me, I love Peter Cullen, I love Optimus, I love like his voice, but this trailer especially was the first time I heard his voice. Is like, oh no, he's getting really old now. Like, oh no. I know he's been old for like a while now, but this trailer he sounded especially a little old, but yeah, I want him to keep working as long as he can, but this is getting there. Yeah, we got like another little glimpse of the new Dark Blood subplot that they teased last season as well. That's completely new to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one. And it's coming in March, so not much longer to wait.
Yeah, I'm excited. We got like 2 months, not even, to go. Get to watch Invincible. No breaks anymore. Lesson learned. Which I don't think they're ever gonna get. I don't think people are ever gonna get over that. But
no, they're not.
But it is what it is. Now we can get another. I mean, it's so hard because the show's been out for like 5 years, but we're on. I mean, you know what I mean? But we got what? I mean, only 25 episodes have been produced at this point, which is kind of insane to say out loud.
Yeah.
But I mean, but again, it's great quality. It's great. It's S tier voice acting, great quality, really good action. So like, I'm excited, but there's also a lot of stuff that I'm like, we got to follow up on. So I feel like Invincible also kind of does that thing where like they'll tease stuff is gonna happen, and then we'll go like 2 seasons without anything happening. So
Because
we'll
last
see.
season, I don't think Mark actually killed any of his villains. Like the dragon guy was still alive, Conquest is still alive.
To be fair, the dragon guy, I mean, I thought he was dead.
He should have
Conquest,
been.
yeah, Conquest is kind of. I feel like that's less Mark's fault, more Cecil trying to restore him
Yeah.
because, of course, he does. What about? No, I think they'll survive. I don't know, but yeah, like Machine Head took over the whole Dragon Guy's empire or whatever, so we got to follow up with that. Like, there's a lot going on, and then I feel like didn't Doc Seismic get away again or something?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, we got a lot of regular stuff and insane stuff. So they're probably gonna do it like first 3 episodes, like, just Mark trying to get used to, healing up, fighting, all this stuff, new Guardians, etc. And then episode 4 drops, and then Nolan and Alan come to Earth and all this stuff, and we gotta get ready for this invasion. And then like the last, we got the aftermath of that for the like 2 episodes, and then we get the first start of the invasion, maybe. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited regardless. It's gonna pop off per usual.
Absolutely. All right. Moving over to Disney stuff. Avatar Fire and Ash has more or less kind of wound down its movie run. And genuinely surprisingly, this movie only made $1.3 billion.
Oh, that's like half of what the last two made.
Yeah. I think I didn't actually look this. I think Way the Water made 2.3.
Yeah, something like that. I thought it was more because I thought it was like not close to beating its original, but it was like I thought it was like 2.5.
2.33. So
okay, so 2.3. But yeah, I'll
still,
granted an extra billion. Like
yeah.
now, that's kind of wild because I think what we're starting to realize is these are all kind of the same movie, which. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and think I have not yet seen the third one. I am not because I never really cared for it. However, from what I saw from the first one to the second one, while obviously things changed because he was an avatar the whole time, and there was no like back and forth switching and stuff, and like, but essentially it was kind of the same idea of we have to, having to come to a new culture and bond with them in order to defeat an evil that was out to destroy you again. Which I kind of feel like was the plot of the third one because and I get it. It's like, it looks good and the graphics are amazing and wow, that's the best CGI there is, and I get that. But I'm also like,
what else you got?
yeah, like we're kind of just doing the same thing again and again, and we're supposed to make 5 of these apparently.
At least 5, yeah.
At least 5 is crazy. So like that's why I think the reason the second one made so much money was because of how much time had passed between the first two. Which usually it's the opposite. Usually people kind of forget about stuff and then, oh, we don't really care anymore. But I think for this movie, it was different because people remember this movie more for the visuals, not the actual story.
Yeah.
So now the visuals are like, oh, okay, cool. But now this movie comes out, the third one, and we're kind of like, okay, this is more of the same. It still makes a lot of money relative to like movies in general. But for Avatar standards, we kind of missed the mark here. And I think we're going to kind of see a trend of that if these movies kind of stay the same. Because I feel like people kind of just don't care as much anymore.
Absolutely.
But
I don't.
No, I don't. To be fair, I didn't care for the first one that much. But I can see people who really like the first one, kind of balling out because it's like, okay, we're doing the same stuff again. And, we don't really care that much. Like, it's weird because I haven't heard anything about this movie but it still made over $1 billion.
It made $1 billion real quick. It took less than 2 weekends to make 1 billion,
Right.
and then it just kind of petered
Stop.
out very quickly. It just kind of
Well, that's the
only
thing. I think
300 million in like the next month. It was a little weird.
I think the people who want to see Avatar are gonna go see it, and that's a lot of people, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like generally a lot of people are like, I'm kind of good.
Yeah.
I feel like it used to be something everyone wanted to see. Now it's kind of something only like Avatar people want to see.
Yeah. So.
But again, 1.3 billion is still an insane amount of money for a movie.
Yes, it is still a lot of money. However, when you're expecting 2 billion,
Yeah.
1.3 feels low.
Yes, correct.
Like, I assume this movie had at least a 200 to 300 million dollar budget.
Oh yeah,
So
not more.
off out the gate, you have an $800 million threshold you have to hit to in order to like confidently have a return. And like, you definitely get past that, but it's not as much as you thought you would. So I don't know. Like, I don't know how Disney feels about that number. Even though 1.3 billion should be, to any human, should be a lot of money. It's you know when you're
Relatively.
projecting more and
Right.
basing a lot of stuff on more, who knows?
Yeah, agreed. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of like, well, maybe Avatar they're gonna maybe start making some changes or something, or maybe give it some more time off. I don't know, but I feel like if they just bring the next one out in 2020, like what 7 or 8 or something, I feel like it's not gonna. If we do, Avatar like Earth or Wind or whatever the
Earth
next
and
one's gonna
dirt.
be. Yeah, literally like Earth and grass or whatever.
uh,
You know,
yeah.
but yeah.
Okay. Next up, um, this is the this is an article title that really tickled me personally. Apparently, Sony is now more open to letting Marvel use their characters. Now, only just now are they willing? Are they more willing to let them use their
It's a
characters?
little late for that, don't we think?
Kinda. Would have been really good back in 2021 when you were or 2020 when you were developing Spider-Man 3 and you're like, "Hey,
Man,
this is the perfect setup for Craven's Last Hunt." You're like, "No, we're actually saving Craven for his own movie." Like, "Okay, I guess we got to do multiverse stuff," which ended up being a good movie, but like it definitely veered off the direction people thought it would go. And then the Craven the Hunter movie was terrible.
yes. Along with every other Sony random supervillain. Like what? Like yeah, man. Like Morbius, a character people didn't
Mhm.
even know. Like again, Morbius is probably the 12th like most popular Spider-Man villain, which I feel like anyone who doesn't really either read comic books or watch every Spider-Man series, which he's not even in a lot of Spider-Man
No,
series,
he
by the
wasn't in
way.
Spectacular. Nothing.
No,
No.
no. I mean, he's only, to my knowledge, he's only been in like 2 Spider-Man series, both of which I believe are over 20 years old at this point.
Yeah.
So I
Like
don't
you
think that was a character anybody was really going
you
for.
you
But
said 12. I'm gonna try to list 13 characters before him. So just in no order of like
yeah,
importance or anything. I'm just to be
yeah,
completely like generous. I'm only gonna list one goblin, just goblin.
yeah. No. There's 2 of them. Because I would argue Hobgoblin is more. I would argue Hobgoblin's more famous than Morbius, if not for the Morbius movie coming out and the memes
Right.
that came. But I mean,
Yeah.
definitely Green
Green
Goblin.
and Hobgoblin, uh, Doc Ock, Sandman,
Yeah,
Rhino, Shocker, Electro, Lizard. I feel like I'm missing some. Oh, Craven. Oh yeah, I'll definitely mention him.
yeah.
Um, Mysterio, Vulture.
Yeah. Yep.
Did I say Venom? I should have said
You
Venom.
did
I said
not.
Venom. Okay,
No.
that's 12 already.
That's 12 right there. That's like all the and you didn't mention
Silver
Carnage, which is
Sable,
also
Tombstone, King,
yeah, Silver Sable, Carnage, Kingpin's a big one, which I
Black
guess you could
Cat.
argue Kingpin's kind of yeah. I mean, maybe Kingpin's kind of a but he's mostly a Spider-Man villain. He's kind of a
Yeah.
lot of people's villains, but that's not the
Still take him
point.
out. That's 15
I mean,
that I
there's a
mentioned.
lot. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot
Sure,
for
even missed a
Morbius.
lot of them.
That's a lot. I mean, Morbius. That's like that is one of the like I understand people like vampires, but I'm like I don't think that's
Sure.
enough for Morbius. Like I that was not gonna work, and nobody knows who Morbius. Like even nerds did not know Morbius like that. Like that was I don't know. There was a lot of picks you could have picked before you picked Morbius, in my opinion. But
Scorpion, Tinkerer, like there's
yeah,
a lot.
that's what I'm saying. Like there's so many you kind of forget because Spider-Man has probably the second most popular Rose Gallery.
Yeah.
But I'm also just like there's so many Spider-Man villains you could have gone with. And also, too, it's like, what is the purpose of making a movie? Like, I don't get the purpose of making a movie about a villain for that a hero's not in. Now, I understand the first Joker movie made a lot of money, and obviously the Venom movies were kind of a success.
Yeah.
However, obviously, those characters are famous because of the comic they come from and the hero of said comic.
Yeah.
And also, too, like,
those are the
that
two characters that I think
character.
Those are the only two of the only villains that I think genuinely could work outside of the villain because they are both independently extremely popular.
Correct.
Outside of their hero.
Correct.
No one even knew who Madame Web was at all.
No, absolutely
outside of
no.
the one episode she was in the original Spider-Man show in the 90s. Like,
no, bro. I mean, there's like, nah, bro. I mean, even me, I'm like, if not for the '94 Spider-Man show, I would have never heard of Madame Web my entire life. Like, you know what I mean? And I love comic books, so it's like that's kind of my thing. Like, you're just really like, why are we doing this? And like now you're finally like, hey, we made what 3, 4 flops. And now maybe we were wrong. Like,
yeah.
Because I'm like, like the Venom movies, I'll give you that. They worked out better than I expected. But Madam Web, Morbius, Craven. Is there another one I'm missing? Or are those the only ones?
I feel like there may be one other, but
is there like a Hydro Man movie that we didn't see? Like I don't know. Like it just you know what I mean? Like this is what we're doing. It's like this is stupid. Like
well, I mean, both Venom Last Dance and Craven both tease future movies that were clearly never going to happen.
No.
So now Sony is more willing to let them.
Yeah, because they got nothing. Of course they are.
They have nothing.
Tom Hardy was tired of doing Venom movies, so they knew they had nothing left. So, I mean, that's just kind of all there is to it. But
it's very funny that, first of all, it's funny that Craven was like the last one. That was their last one. It's not their worst one, but it was their last one. That's very funny. But second, it's hilarious that they made Morbius and then kept going.
Yes.
Madame Web came out 2 years later. Craven the Hunter came out over 2 years later. But they had time to stop, but they didn't.
I don't know. We're gonna have to say. I mean, good for them, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, what does that really mean? I mean, what is that? I mean, what are they gonna make up? Like, I don't think the MCU cares anymore. I feel like we have Spider-Man. Like, I don't really. I mean, maybe I guess we're gonna use other characters because we need to. And it's like
apparently the movie rights to Kingpin were kind of mixed in with the Sony deal, so that's why Kingpin hadn't shown up in any like live action like Spider-Man movies yet.
Right.
But he could show up
Right.
in show stuff.
Right.
So like, there's a chance that now that they're more willing to play ball, maybe in Spider-Man 5, Kingpin could be, assuming whatever happens in Daredevil season 2. Um, I don't think he'll die by the end of that, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
Kingpin
right.
could
I
be
mean,
used in
help
future
them.
movie stuff.
Okay, I'd be down with that. Yeah, I feel like Kingpin and Spider-Man would be great, especially the one we have has been very good. So sure,
Yeah, absolutely.
we'll have to see.
Yeah. Um, there was a new trailer for Daredevil Born Again season 2, but I haven't seen it yet. It's one of those shows where like I know I'm gonna watch. I don't need to be convinced. It's just, uh, I know that Jessica Jones is coming back for it, and that's all I need. Like I really liked the only really good parts of the Defenders show was her interacting with Daredevil. So her being in this is a very good idea. So I think it's coming out also in March. So we're getting that and Invincible around the same time, which is
Nice,
cool.
awesome.
Um, next up, according to Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool 4 is in active development.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm. And it's rumored to be another team up movie. We don't know with who or what or whatever, but if Sony is now more willing to play ball with Spider-Man characters, I think Deadpool and Spider-Man
That would
could be
be so
good.
sick. I'm not gonna. That would be awesome.
Yes.
I would still. It would still be interesting because I'm like, are they gonna make Tom Holland like say cuss words, or are they gonna not?
They're
Like,
gonna make him
what's
say
gonna happen?
one in a very like in a because he kind of did in technically the character did at the end of Far From Home.
That's true. That is true. I
Yeah.
mean, they didn't show it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess both of them, right? Oh, I guess he did. Well, I guess it was Aunt May, but
Yes.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see that. I don't know. I think that would be amazing. And I think Tom Holland and Ryan Reynolds would also just love to work together in general.
Yeah.
But I would be down for that. That'd be kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm. Regardless, all three Deadpool movies are really good. I I don't need another Deadpool and Wolverine. I think um, I wouldn't necessarily mind Hugh Jackman coming back to play Wolverine again, but I don't want him to like be the Wolverine in the MCU going forward. But like if he just comes back for Deadpool stuff and Deadpool just kind of exists in this little pocket of like, we're having our own little side stories over here that can involve characters doing whatever kind of parallel to the MCU. I think I'd be cool with that.
Mm.
So, I mean, plus we already know that Deadpool and Wolverine, work very well together. So we don't,
Oh yeah.
it's like it would be it would be a little. I don't know if disingenuous is the right word, but it'd be definitely a little odd considering the end of Deadpool and Wolverine had that like homage to the Fox universe, and it was like, you know, and then uh, Avengers Doomsday is also bringing in those characters as well to be, as for all of that. So it's regardless, Deadpool 4 being in some kind of active development is cool.
Yeah, no, listen. Deadpool movies are great. They've been awesome so far. I know some people are like, oh, the first one feels more like original than the others, but
Sure.
I think they've all been, I mean, I feel like they've all been very good objectively. So I feel like we keep going. That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last bit of Disney news, we got the first trailer for the Darth Maul show, Star Wars
Yes,
Shadow Lord.
bro. Yes.
Uh,
Clone Wars art style is back, man. It always looks so much better every time it's in something new. It
Hmm.
always looks good, but I'm like, this looks amazing. Like what I don't know, somebody online, I don't know if it was online or somewhere I read, but it was like somebody was like, why aren't we just doing Clone Wars art style and then just like we can even go to Legends, like we can go like
Hmm.
do like more Luke Skywalker style. We just get Mark Hamill, who loves voice acting,
Yeah.
and just like start doing stuff. I think everybody I don't think Clone Wars art style. I know it's Clone Wars art style. I don't think that art style has to stay in between
No.
this Clone Wars setting before it. Like I feel like we can kind of just take that wherever we want if we want to. We
Hmm.
want to go and make stuff between episode, other movies and or after the original trilogy. Like I feel like we
Hmm.
could.
Yeah. I mean, we have the Tales of series that
Yeah.
has stretched forward a little bit, but go all in. Like, do like I feel like, unfortunately, especially considering how the Boba Fett show did actually turn out, I feel like the Boba Fett show would have been massively improved by being in this art style.
Yeah.
Having more episodes in this art style just would have been overall more appealing. Um, you can just do more with animation in general. Like, uh, it is kind of funny though that when Clone Wars first came out in 2008, yeah, nine, eight, whatever,
8.
eight, yeah, I I did not like the art style at all. I felt like people were a little too like rigid. Like people weren't as expressive as they wanted. Like the lightsaber fights felt a little clunky. But then by season
Yeah.
two of the actual show, like it went down smooth.
Right?
Yeah, and
Like
then
it
if you're
got
like just binging the show, even from the end of season two into season three, it looks like a completely different show now for the better. Like it just like gets better every single season. And yeah, when the Tales of show kept coming back with the Bad Batch, that's also the only reason why I even finished that show is because that art style was so appealing. And then yeah,
yeah.
Darth Maul just looks incredible.
Looks great. The boy, I mean, Sam's gonna bring it every time with
Yeah.
his voice acting. I mean, it was like, I see the trailer, like, and I had no idea, you know what I mean? Like, you had no idea this is coming out. And it just drops on your feed one day, and you're just like, huh? And you're like, your first guess is, wait, is this fan made? This looks like this fan made. Wait, official Star Wars. Oh, oh. And then he throws the lightsaber, and it goes to the stormtroopers, and he gets it back, and still parries, and I'm like,
Ooh,
bro,
him fighting Inquisitors, just it's like literally
oh,
everything you'd want out of a Maul show.
take my money. Oh my goodness. Like, I know I already paid for it, but still, like, take my money.
Yeah. And
Like,
some people are confused about when exactly this takes place. Like, oh, didn't he die at the end, in Rebels? It's like, well, first of all, there's like a 10-year gap between the end of Clone Wars and that episode of Rebels. At least 10
yes,
years, probably even more. Like closer to
probably
15 actually.
more.
Actually, yeah, it's closer to 15, maybe even more actually.
Well, because,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan in that Rebels looks like old Alec Guinness more than he looks like older, like, you know what I mean? And we've
Yeah.
seen how he looks in the Obi-Wan show when they're
Well,
10.
he should have looked
So
older, but whatever.
I mean, yeah, he should have looked older. I agree, but I'm like, this looks like Luke is like, he like the events of Episode 4 could have been like next week for
Yeah.
all we know. Like, you know what I mean? So it
So
looks like it probably at least 15 years, I would say,
yeah.
from when we saw him in the end of Clone Wars. So I mean, there's a
Mhm.
lot of time in there with the whole Crimson Dawn thing. Like there could be a lot going on here. So I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Absolutely. It's coming out on April 6th. So
Which is kind of wild because I'm like, May the Fourth was right there, which makes me feel like there's
I
something else they have for May
yeah,
the Fourth.
they've had multiple Star Wars stuff. I'm pretty sure they've had multiple Star Wars stuff happen on May the 4th at the same time before. I can't
Yeah, 'cause
remember exactly, but I know that
I think
I
they
feel like they
did
have.
Vision. I think they did a season of Visions and one of the Tales of at the same time on May the 4th a couple years ago.
That
I think
might
it
be.
was
Yeah.
I think it was Tales of the Empire in Vision season 2, I think.
Uh,
Something like that. Or season 2 or season 3, maybe. I don't know.
was there a season 3 of Visions?
Was there?
I feel
Or
like
maybe
there.
I'm thinking of something else.
I feel like there.
I kind of fell off of Visions, I'm not gonna lie. But
Yeah, I don't know why I did. I just didn't really come back for season 2. Uh, yeah, regardless, there's a decent chance that something Star Warsy is also going to happen on May 4th. We could even
yes.
actually, depending on how many episodes it is, like they might, like the finale might be on the 4th. No, it's a Monday.
Oh, that's
Well,
true. I didn't think about that.
okay, so they are okay. That's fine. They're releasing on Mondays because April 6th is a Monday. So
Okay.
2, 3. So an episode will release on May 4th.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but
there we
I
go.
do hope that they also have some kind of Tales of thing at
Yeah,
the end
they
because those are
probably
always
will.
good.
I didn't have them going concurrently,
Hmm.
like some Tales of something. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. But yeah, you're absolutely right that
Yeah,
they should continue this style of content. Just like take a character from Star Wars and make a show about it in the Clone Wars style. Doesn't have to be a Clone Wars era character. It can be literally anybody. Like you could be about
and
about
that
Finn at the Academy, and
literally,
but
and
before Episode 7. It could be post Episode 9. It could be before Episode 1. Like there's a lot of other time period stuff they could pull from.
literally, and again, if something really catches traction, like a certain time period, you can kind of make just make a full show about that. I
Exactly.
think that's what it really should have been
Hmm.
the whole time. You know what I mean? Like kind of
Hmm.
it's almost kind of like a, not so much a backdoor pilot, but it's kind of like it's like a fishing for interest to see like, okay, what do people want to see? Do they want to see a show? Because they had done this with like, even when they first started, like, oh, Tales of the, you could have like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like kind of like what if did with zombies, except you know, better. But like,
Yeah.
you kind of realize, hey, this was one of our most popular What If episodes. Let's just take this and go for, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Luckily, the Clone Wars style is a lot more appealing than the what if
Yes.
art
Yes, it
style.
is. Yes, it is. But, kind of the same concept as far as like introduce an idea through
Hmm.
this and you can kind of tease stuff and then go
Yeah,
from there.
absolutely. Yeah. So next couple of months are going to be pretty wild. Yeah, March.
Yeah.
Just next. Almost at this point next month. Uh, in March we have both Invincible and Daredevil, and then you know the next month we have Maul, and just, it's good. It's starting to look like a very good year.
Hmm.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to bring up or discuss before we sign off?
I also want to say, oh, have you seen, I don't know, have you seen there was a gameplay trailer for, it's called The God Slayer. Have you seen that?
Yes. Yes.
Bro,
That was cool.
it looks like what Avatar should have been doing years ago.
Hmm. Hmm.
It looks so good. Like the way you can use elements and then like you could fight and then you just like water and you could just freeze a group of people and like on a whim and then like I don't know, man. I was just like I think it's not coming out till next year, but I'm like, well,
Yep.
probably adding that to cart. Like
It's from I don't think it's like a major studio making it. I don't think it's completely indie either. I hope it's not one of those games where like the concept and the initial reveal trailer look really cool, but you find out when it comes out that like, oh, the game isn't actually all that long and the mechanics are actually like a little more
it's
simpler
way
than you were
more clunky
expecting.
than it looks. Yeah, I mean that is
trailers
the
can make a game
worry.
look like whatever, so it's possible.
Yes, yeah, that's
But best
true.
case
But I mean,
scenario,
yeah,
it looks really cool. Yeah.
yeah, no, I want to say face value for what we saw, it looked great.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also like, yeah, now you know what I mean. It's like, hey man, like I mean, granted, some trailers for games still look bad, but I'm like, yeah, let's see what we're getting into before we start, going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But
and it is still it is still a year away, so any clunkiness that is there could easily be, worked out. So I'm definitely one that I'm going to be following too.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, anything else?
That's like the biggest thing I had.
All right. So with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care.